The evolution of the cybersecurity threat landscape. The cyber threats of today are not the same as even a few years ago. As the cyber threat landscape changes, organizations need protection against cybercriminals' current and future tools and techniques. Gen V attacks. The cybersecurity threat landscape is continually evolving, and, occasionally, these advancements represent a new generation of cyber threats. To date, we have experienced 5 generations of cyber threats and solutions designed to mitigate them, including General I virus. In the late 1980s, virus attacks against standalone computers inspired the creation of the first antivirus solutions. General II network. As cyber attacks began to come over the internet, the firewall was developed to identify and block them. General III applications. Exploitation of vulnerabilities within applications caused the mass adoption of intrusion prevention systems, IPS, General IV, payload. As malware became more targeted and able to evade supply chain attacks. Historically, many organizations' security efforts have been focused on their own applications and systems. By hardening the perimeter and only permitting access to authorized users and applications, they try to prevent cyber threat actors from breaching their networks. Recently, a surge in supply chain attacks has demonstrated the limitations of this approach and cybercriminals' willingness and ability to exploit them. Incidents like the SolarWinds, Microsoft Exchange Server, and Kaseya hacks demonstrated that trust relationships with other organizations can be a weakness in a corporate cybersecurity strategy. By exploiting one organization and leveraging these trust relationships, a cyber threat actor can gain access to the networks of all of their customers. Protecting against supply chain attacks requires a zero-trust approach to security. While partnerships and vendor relationships are good for business, third-party users and software should have access to the minimum necessary to do their jobs and should be continually monitored. Ransomware. While ransomware has been around for decades, it only became the dominant form of malware within the last few years. The WannaCry ransomware outbreak demonstrated the viability and profitability of ransomware attacks, driving a sudden surge in ransomware campaigns. Since then, the ransomware model has evolved drastically. While ransomware used to only encrypt files, it now will steal data to extort the victim and their customers in double and triple extortion attacks. Some ransomware groups also threaten or employ distributed denial of service (DDoS) attacks to incentivize victims to meet ransom demands. The growth of ransomware has also been made possible by the emergence of the ransomware as a service (RaaS) model, where ransomware developers will provide their malware to affiliates to distribute in exchange for a piece of the ransom. With RaaS, many cybercrime groups have access to advanced malware, making sophisticated attacks more common. As a result, ransomware protection has become an essential component of the enterprise cybersecurity strategy. Phishing. Phishing attacks have long been the most common and effective means by which cybercriminals gain access to corporate environments. It is often much easier to trick a user into clicking a link or opening an attachment than it is to identify and exploit a vulnerability within an organization's defenses. In recent years, phishing attacks have only grown more sophisticated. While the original phishing scams were relatively easy to detect, modern attacks are convincing and sophisticated to the point where they can be virtually indistinguishable from legitimate emails. Employee cybersecurity awareness training is not enough to protect against the modern phishing threat. Managing the risk of phishing requires cybersecurity solutions that identify and block malicious emails before they even reach a user's inbox. Malware. The different generations of cyber attacks have been defined mainly by the evolution of malware. Malware authors and cyber defenders are playing a continual cat and mouse game, where attackers try to develop techniques that overcome or bypass the latest in security technology. Often, when they succeed, a new generation of cyber attacks is created. Modern malware is swift, stealthy, and sophisticated. The detection techniques used by legacy security solutions, such as signature-based detection, are no longer effective, and, often, by the time security analysts have detected and responded to a threat, the damage is already done. Detection is no longer good enough to protect against malware attacks. Mitigating the threat of General V malware requires cybersecurity solutions focused on prevention, stopping the attack before it begins and before any damage is done. Cybersecurity Trends. The prevailing trends in cybersecurity often stem from a combination of reactions to prominent AI security. The ascent of AI profoundly influences cybersecurity, encompassing both offensive and defensive aspects. On the offensive front, cyber threat actors have already employed tools like ChatGPT to enhance and streamline cyber attacks, contributing to a notable year-over-year surge in attacks across the board. Hybrid, Mesh, Firewall, Platform organizations are progressively adopting hybrid mesh, firewall, platform, integrating diverse firewall types into a unified, centrally managed security architecture. This approach allows organizations to implement firewall solutions tailored to specific environments while simultaneously ensuring centralized oversight, administration, and enforcement of policies across their entire infrastructure. CNAPP, Gartner has coined the term Cloud Native Application Protection Platform, CNAPP, to characterize security solutions that consolidate the diverse capabilities required for cloud application security into a unified solution. This integration of multiple features into a single solution and dashboard assists in combating security sprawl in the cloud, empowering security teams to efficiently oversee, administer, and safeguard their cloud-based applications. Hybrid data centers. While certain organizations have fully migrated their data centers to the cloud, others have adopted cloud computing to enhance their on-premises data centers. A hybrid data center employs orchestration, allowing the seamless movement of data and applications between on-premises and cloud-based infrastructure as required over the network. Comprehensive protection. Companies now confront a broader spectrum of threats and potential attack vectors than in previous times. Cyber threat actors possess the capability to exploit vulnerabilities in conventional endpoints, mobile devices, IoT systems, and remote work infrastructure. The increased complexity in monitoring and securing a multitude of systems heightens the likelihood of oversight by AI security. The ascent of AI profoundly influences cybersecurity, encompassing both offensive and defensive aspects. On the offensive front, cyber threat actors have already employed tools like ChatGPT to enhance and streamline cyber attacks, contributing to a notable year-over-year surge in attacks across the board. Hybrid, Mesh, Firewall, Platform organizations are progressively adopting hybrid mesh, firewall, platform, integrating diverse firewall types into a unified, centrally managed security architecture. This approach allows organizations to implement firewall solutions tailored to specific environments while simultaneously ensuring centralized oversight, administration, and enforcement of policies across their entire infrastructure. CNAPP, Gartner has coined the term Cloud Native Application Protection Platform, CNAPP, to characterize security solutions that consolidate the diverse capabilities required for cloud application security into a unified solution. This integration of multiple features into a single solution and dashboard assists in combating security sprawl in the cloud, empowering security teams to efficiently oversee, administer, and safeguard their cloud-based applications. Hybrid data centers. While certain organizations have fully migrated their data centers to the cloud, others have adopted cloud computing to enhance their on-premises data centers. A hybrid data center employs orchestration, allowing the seamless movement of data and applications between on-premises and cloud-based infrastructure as required over the network. Rise of remote work. The response to the COVID-19 pandemic demonstrated that remote and hybrid work models were viable for many companies. Now, organizations need solutions that allow them to effectively protect the remote workforce as well as on-site employees. Trying to solve all of these challenges with an array of disconnected solutions is unscalable and unsustainable. Only by consolidating and streamlining their security architectures can companies effectively manage their cybersecurity risk. Achieving comprehensive cybersecurity with Checkpoint. A modern cybersecurity infrastructure is one that is consolidated and built from solutions that are designed to work together. This requires partnering with a security provider with experience in protecting all of an organization's assets against a range of cyber threats. Checkpoint offers solutions for all of an organization's security needs, including network security, Checkpoint Quantum, IoT security, Checkpoint Quantum IoT Protect, cloud security, Checkpoint CloudGuard, application security, Checkpoint CloudGuard AppSec, endpoint security, Checkpoint Harmony Endpoint, Mobile security. Checkpoint Harmony Mobile Subscribe Tech Dude 8481 YouTube channel.